Good afternoon and thanks for joining us on ITV News at noon. I am Harry Aiboje. Troops of Operation Hadinkai have uncovered an underground Boko Haram logistics storage facility stocked with medical supplies, fuel and other critical materials after overrunning several terrorist enclaves in the Timbuktu Triangle area of Borno State. The Media Information Officer of the Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinkai, Lieutenant Colonel Ubasani, disclosed that the discovery followed a series of coordinated intelligence-led offensives conducted across Chilaria, Garin Farouk, and Aberma, during which the troops also repelled multiple drone attacks launched by the terrorists. According to Sani, the operation resulted in the destruction of several terrorist camps and significantly degraded the logistical and operational capabilities of Boko Haram and ISWAP elements operating in the axis. Sani explained that the operation was supported by the air component of Operation Hadinkai, which provided persistent intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance coverage throughout the advance. He said during the clearance operations, troops recovered several items of military significance, including Baofeng radios, phones, 5 AK-47 magazines, several rounds of 7.62 x 39 mm special ammunition, and 7.62 mm NATO belted ammunition. Others include several Boko Haram ISOP flags, links of 12.7 x 108 mm ammunition, diesel-powered grinding machines, large quantity of medical supplies, several bags of grains, pickup trucks, underground logistics storage, and petroleum oil lubricant dump, which all further degraded the operational and logistical capability of the terrorists. However, Sani revealed that at about midday, the advancing troops came under armed drone attacks launched by the terrorists, adding that despite sustained engagements, troop morale remains high and fighting efficiency continues to be maintained. Former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami SAN has been taken into custody by security operatives shortly after his release from the Kuje Correctional Center, Abuja. Operatives of the Department of State Services reportedly picked him up immediately after he exited the facility. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission clarified that it did not rearrest Malami. Officials of the Nigerian Correctional Service confirmed that Malami was released after meeting his bail conditions. Malami's release followed the granting of bail on January 7th by Justice Emeka Nwite of the Federal High Court, Abuja. The court granted bail to Malami, his wife, and his son in the sum of 500 million naira each, with strict conditions. Each defendant was required to produce 2 sureties with verifiable landed property within Asokoro, Maitama, or Gwarimpa, deposit property documents with the court, and submit affidavits of means. They were also ordered to surrender their international passports and barred from traveling abroad without prior permission. Malami, his wife Asabe, and his son had been remanded at Kuje following their arraignment by the EFCC on December 29, 2025 on the 16 counts bordering on money laundering involving about 8.7 billion naira. The EFCC alleged that the defendants used multiple corporate entities, bank accounts, and high-value real estate transactions to conceal proceeds of unlawful activities. Additionally, the EFCC claimed the trial disguised the origin of 500 million naira used to purchase a luxury duplex on Amazon Street, Maitama. Malami had been in EFCC custody since December 8, 2025, after failing to meet earlier bail conditions. Over now to Kogi State, whose government has unveiled 2 HP-20 state asset drones to strengthen efforts against insecurity, including banditry, across the state. Governor Usman Ododo, who launched the drones at the Chari Megumeri barracks, described the initiative as a vital step towards sustaining peace and denying criminals any foothold in the state. A statement by the government said the unveiling ceremony in Lokoja drew top military commanders, security stakeholders, and government officials, marking a significant milestone in Governor Ododo's technology-driven security agenda. The drone's capabilities include surveillance, monitoring, and rapid response systems that enable real-time intelligence gathering and precision-led security operations, even in challenging terrains. Governor Ododo further highlighted the state's strategic position as a gateway between northern and southern Nigeria. He noted that Kogi's forest and border communities had previously been targeted by criminals migrating from other regions, hence the development. A chieftain of the African Democratic Congress, Chief John Odige Oyegun, has expressed confidence that the collaboration between the party and the Obedient Movement will dislodge the All Progressives Congress from power in 2027 during the mass defection of members of the Obedient Movement into the ADC in Edo State. The development comes weeks after former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi formally joined the ADC. According to him, the caliber of individuals joining the ADC reinforces the belief that a new Nigeria is achievable. He described the decision of the Obedient Movement to join the ADC as a deliberate choice to take ownership of the struggle for change. Odige Oyegun said dissatisfaction with the current state of affairs in the country and Edo State should serve as the motivation for collective action. Thousands of villagers have fled their communities in Sokoto State following the expiration of the ultimatum handed down by notorious bandits leader Bello Turji. Correspondent Umar Mohammed reports that about 15 communities have been deserted.
Some of the communities affected are Tidibale, Mansolo, Gidam Rana, Jimbama, Kwanawa, Chohi, and Yukurori, among others, in Isa local government area of Sokoto State. Bandits loyal to Bello Turji recently launched a coordinated attack on Bagaja town, leaving many locals dead, while others escaped with various degrees of injuries, with many also kidnapped. The fear of being the next victim led to mass exodus of villagers to safer areas following the expiration of 24 hours deadline given to the villagers or be killed, in addition to exorbitant taxes imposed on various communities. Meanwhile, the Sokoto State Governor Ahmed Aliu said the evacuation of the locals from Tidibale to the local government secretariats was carried out with the consent of the local government authority.
Were temporarily conveyed to local government, Isa local government headquarters by the council authorities, follow a rumor that bandits are planning an attack on the community.
Reacting to the development, the General Officer commanding 8th Division of the Nigerian Army, Major General Adekunle Ajose, said the military has intensified raids against bandits in Sokoto State, leading to the increase in the number of military personnel deployed to Tidibale and other communities.
The locals were trying to evacuate the community. Troops have commenced operations in the adjoining forest to further reassure the populace.
All eyes are now on the federal government whether it will heed to the call of the Sultanate, advocating to an urgent steps to stop the persecution and killings by the notorious Bello Turji in the state. From Kaduna, Umar Mohammed, ITV News.
And moving on, the trial of suspects linked to the killing of a housewife and her 6 children at Dorayi Chinrachi quarters in Kano State will soon commence. This follows the state government's announcement that it would take over the prosecution of the case after widespread public outrage over the tragic incident. The suspects allegedly broke into the residence of Haruna Bashir, killing his wife, Fatima Abubakar, and her 6 children. 3 suspects, 23-year-old Umar Awalu, and 40-year-old Ishaku Yakubu, also known as Chebe, and 21-year-old Yakubu Abdulaziz, also known as Wawo, were subsequently arrested in connection with the crime. Speaking at a press conference, the State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice Abdul Karim Maude, SAN, said the decision to assume control of the case was based on the directive of Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf to ensure accountability and justice for the victims. Maude described the killings, which occurred last week in the Dorayi Chinranchi area of Kumbotso local government area, as a shocking and grave violation of the law. The matter was initially reported at the Dorayi Divisional Police Office and later transferred to the State Criminal Investigation Department for detailed investigation, which led to the arrest of suspects. Maude also appealed to the public to remain calm, vigilant, and law-abiding while continuing to support security agencies with credible information that could aid ongoing investigations. He said the government would keep the public informed as the case progresses, stressing that anyone found culpable will face the full weight of the law. And now to business. The Nigerian Communications Commission has announced plans to leverage satellite technology to expand mobile coverage to an estimated 23.3 million Nigerians who remain underserved by terrestrial networks. Satellite-to-phone service, also known as direct-to-device or direct-to-cell connectivity, allows standard smartphones to connect directly to satellites for calls, texts, and data without relying on terrestrial cell towers, bridging coverage gaps in remote areas. The NCC said it is seeking input from stakeholders on how satellite direct-to-device services can be deployed effectively while ensuring competition, spectrum efficiency, and consumer protection. The Commission noted that advances in satellite and non-terrestrial network technologies now make it possible for mobile devices to connect directly to satellites, offering a potential solution for areas where traditional infrastructure is difficult or costly to deploy. The initiative follows signals from the NCC's 2025-2030 Spectrum Roadmap, which identifies non-terrestrial networks as a key complement to existing mobile infrastructure. And now to entertainment, where one of the giants of the 20th century Italian fashion designer, Valentino Garavani, known as Valentino, has died at the age of 93. Born in Lombardy in May 1932, Valentino was known for his connections that displayed luxury, wealth, and opulence. He moved to Paris to study at the Chambre syndicale de la Couture Parisienne when he was just 17 and went on to work with designers Jacques Faith, Balenciaga, Jean Desses, and Guy Laroche. Valentino's creations were worn by celebrities and well-known figures including Elizabeth Taylor, Sharon Stone, and Julia Roberts. The deceased co-founded the Valentino Fashion House in 1960 and ranked alongside Giorgio Armani and Karl Lagerfeld at the top of the profession. His adoption of his signature color, Valentino Red, inspired by a trip to Spain, helped elevate the brand to global fame with the debut of the iconic Fiesta dress. In a statement posted on Instagram, the Valentino Garavani and Giancarlo Giametti Foundation said he passed away peacefully in his Roman home, surrounded by the love of his family. The foundation said Valentino will be lying in state at Rome's Piazza Mignanelli between 21 and 22nd of January 2026. Valentino's funeral service will be held the following day at the Basilica of St. Mary of the Angels and Martyrs. And now to the fascinating world of sports, where Nigeria's Super Eagles moved to 26th position in the latest ranking released by the Federation of International Football Association, FIFA. The new ranking is on the back of Nigeria's splendid run at the just concluded 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, where they placed third. The three-time African champions were previously ranked 38th in the world. Eric Chell's side also moved to third position in Africa behind Morocco and Senegal. The Desert Foxes of Algeria and Pharaohs of Egypt complete the top 5 teams on the continent. The Super Eagles won 6 and lost one of their 7 games at the AFCON 2025 finals. Spain maintained top position on the ranking, with world champions Argentina retaining second spot, France at third, followed by England in fourth and Brazil in fifth. And with that, we've come to the end of ITV News at noon. Many thanks for watching. I am Harry Igbo. Good afternoon.
ITV, certainly the best.